Good day, folks. So this is where I want to extend the greenhouse on out 32 more foot, and that'll be to where the two little step-in posts are there. And one of them's kind of in line. I've just measured out the 32 foot, and I had that old stump that was out there that I've been trying to burn out, and it's down pretty even with the dirt now. And then most of the dirt here is going to be have to move out, and I'm going to level that some. I'm not going to build it up, so I'm going to fix some steps. Here is my intention to where I can have 10 or 12 foot high, and I can keep some of my trees a little bigger. And that's my intentions anyway, and what I'm working towards for the winter time. These were the pencil cactus that I had moved out the other day, and a lot of them, since I haven't watered them, but we've had some rains that have hit them, and they putting on new growth out here in the sun now. And I needed the little trays for the babies that I have rooted. And this is the old turmeric bulbs here. This plant here, the big pot, that's the one that stayed out all winter and was the first one that showed signs of growth. And then the others, and these were the first ones. Whenever I would take the old bulbs out, I turned right around and repotted them. And so they're the first ones that were potted and the first ones that have came up. And like the big one here, that's around 4 foot. And which height on it don't matter. I'm interested in the turmeric, the root that it puts on underneath. And my mulberries, I've got one of each planted in the yard, and they're doing pretty good. It's one of those things though that we had so little rain. They haven't done a lot, and but they're living, and that's what counts, because we'll have rains directly. Maybe with the storm that's developing down in the Gulf, I'll get a little bit more. Some lemongrass I'd potted up, and I still had plans of doing more. The Yaba mate, I took some cuttings the other day, and I must have nicked this little branch up in here because he's fell over or something, broke. The horseradish is just really, I hope it's making some good roots under there. It looked like one time it was going to all die back or something, and then it's just all of a sudden it put on another growth spurt. I reckon I'm hitting it with the right amount of water and watering at one time or something. The pink hibiscus is kind of all bloomed out for the time being, but there's got a few more blooms coming on it for later, and that's about the way it did last year. And the red one has more on it. The little cratums are doing real well. I've got these old pots up here that I don't have any of the pink impatient that I give seed away planted. I've noticed a few in some of the containers trying to come up, but I got to get more seed planted so I can have the plants to save more seed. And anyway, Lord knows I don't need to plant no more of the pineapple sage or the salvia, because I got them coming up and going to seed everywhere. I'm still really tickled about my curry plants, curry trees. One over there, I'd cut the top out of the one over there and tried to root it, and it rotted, but I've got the seed coming on, and that one that I cut didn't have it, never went to flower. So I'm very pleased that this one has some seed, and I'm going to try to do something with this and with them. And this is the red hibiscus here, and some seed pods on it that I'll have fresh seed. More lemongrass, and I flipped the water hose over and broke one of my Egyptian walking onions this morning, so like the old country boy I am, I picked it up and chewed on a blade of it, which they talk about chewing on the blade of grass, but I chewed on the blade of onion. This is another one of the red hibiscus here with good blooms coming on it. I intended to get some of the sweet leaf plant, the stevia, rooted, but it's like so many things. I started off real good this morning, and then just my vertigo and all kind of hit me and started feeling a little nauseous, so I kind of slowing down a little bit. Just drank some ginger tea and ate some candied ginger, and that I usually kind of help stop my stomach from doing flip-flops. The betel leaf, I am really pleased with it. I did get 4 actually cut off yesterday, and they haven't wilted down, and so we'll see. And there's a couple more of the smaller pots that I could possibly ship down in here. Some of the ones in those tall spots I put runners down over yonder, and so I can't do anything with them until the runners root. And so and the poor baby here, it just keeps getting blowed over. It had we had a little, got 2/10 of an inch of rain and a lot of lightning and a few gusts of wind, and it flipped over. And so anyway, I stood him back up, and he ain't hurt too bad, and Lord knows I got more leaf than I can possibly use. I keep watching my miracle fruit. It's got a lot of little ones, but I've only gotten 2 fruits off of it so far this year, and I love them. They're really good with a hard apple cider, and that makes it taste like cream soda. Have a lady supposed to come the weekend and take all these oversized ones off my hand before I have to, so I don't have to pot them up. It's like 40 of them there, and as I had said before, I'm getting into, I've got enough up and the size and all that I'm willing to go back to trying the 4-plant box. And the landscape fabric, the black over there and all around the greenhouse, water will run off of it, but water will also seep through it. And I put the fabric here. It's the same stuff that's covering the greenhouse here, 2 strips of it, and 1 strip was here, and I've got another piece that I put up. And anyway, the white reflects the sun back up, and it does hold some water. It's not porous at all, and it just helps hold the humidity up, and the plants love it. So, and talking of humidity, that was this plant, there's no holes in the bottom of the pot, and the pot's just sitting there so that none of the gust of winds could flip the little pool over. And I've said before, if you've watched my videos, you've heard me talk about I like my little frogs. And so I've got some tadpoles down in there, and the tadpoles eat the mosquito larvae, but then whenever they turn into frogs, the frogs eat all kind of bugs. And so it's a win-win situation. I help provide habitat for my amphibian buddies, and they help do me right, in which there's some mosquito or dragonfly larvae in there too, and they'll eat the tadpoles. But then dragonflies, I had, I don't know, probably a dozen in here the other day that were like a swarm of dragonflies, just in the greenhouse, and I don't know why, because I haven't seen any bugs to mount to anything. Every now and then, that big old horse flies and all, they get trapped in here. And my ginger and galanga and the other turmeric down there, but this was what I wanted to show, was the moringa here. And fixing to harvest the seed pods off of them. So I can take them in the house and eat them. And I do indeed love them. I love moringa all kind of ways, in which, like I say, I have some planted in the old garden out there. Some has come back, and then along the fence over there is, I think these big plants here are like 4 years old now, and the ones over there I think are 3 years, and no, 2 years on those, and the ones in the garden are 3 years, something of that nature. But this is the best crop of, they call them drumsticks. I don't know why they call them that, but the seed pods, that's what they call them. And it was, the plant in some places is referred to as the drumstick plant. Like I said, I have no idea where people come up with some of the names that they do. But most everything, I think is 1 or 2 of the gingers down there that I still haven't seen anything, and there's the same with the galanga, but every one of my tubs of turmeric is up. Those were the different hibiscus that I had started to kind of check on the germination of the seeds, and most of them I put 2 seeds in the pot, and most of them 2 seeds come up from the pot. Poor old pregnant onions haven't had any care given to them in some time, and they're sure showing it with more grass than onion. Somebody just called this the other day in a video they did of purple flower, and I come to find out it's called Mexican petunia. And there's one in here that is a pink, and I don't even know where I got it from, but it's of the same family, and it makes these seed pods like this, and whenever they pop open like that, they have little hooks on the seed pod, so I guess it would hang on to an animal and scatter seed all through wherever the critter went to. A crown of thorns is always just very pleasing to me. And the bougainville up there in the dragon tail. There's a nice breeze, and it feels so good out here, and I think I'm fixing to go eat a little more ginger and then try to get a little bit more done. Everyone have a blessed day.